Okay, guys, welcome. Money Mike's here with another video. Welcome to everyone going live. I think that the weather is really bad, so connecting seems to be going crazy. I don't even get why, but hey, it's happening. But we're here, we're on, we're live. Let's go. So what I want to do is just have a quick look at Bitcoin. Okay, I'm not going to spend too long on this one. And the reason is because the price action is quite simple. So we're in a mixture of areas now. I'm using Bitcoin on the weekly time frame here, just to quickly have a look at what we got going on. So we still have the algorithmic level that we're watching here, which is around 5,200 or 52,800. Price. This is the same day that the official day of El Salvador's move into Bitcoin as a legal piece of tender within the economy happened. So that short that we've had here, we've broken beneath many weekly lows. In fact, we had a close beneath 1 and 2 lows at least, and the low closed beneath the third, but at least we have two strong closes between beneath the previous 2 weeks. Now the price is in a recovery phase, not a reversal type, but still a recovery phase, and is approaching the low of this week here. So I'm watching to see how the price is going to react here. Now we're at a crossroads, and the recovery will be confirmed if we have this movement here. So I'm going to go over to the daily time frame, and let's have a look here. So do you guys remember this magic area here? Now, if you can't see this supply zone on your charts, if you're using TradingView and you want to follow along, you want to make sure that you're looking at the price feed for Bittrex, because this is the Hugo's Way's price feed comes from Bittrex. So this supply zone right here on the D1 supply zone right here, we've had this area hits of supply was responsible for pushing the price short all the way until July 20th. Price broke above here on the 9th of August. Then we had the formation of bullish market structure, which we've seen the first leg and the second leg. Now, when the price hit the algorithmic price point here, we had a very strong short. This price spiked into here, but has rested on the other side. So in essence, we have another buy opportunity since we haven't got the close. Now, I told you guys, the only warning is, which I was saying yesterday, is that this candle was possibly the most dangerous one of tipping the price back over into heavier areas of supply. But we had a wick close instead of a body close, which is good. And so in other words, if we were to look at the market structure again, starting from this swing, here is the A, all right? So if I put this here, capital A, because we're on a higher time frame here. So from this capital A point right here, here's the B swing. Now, I know that C has closed below A, but because it's the body, is not the body of the candle, there's still bullish market structure. We don't have a break of market structure yet. Okay, just because the wick of a candle closes above or below another doesn't break the market structure. So always remember that. So A, B, and C. So right now we're primed and ready for a move. And as you can see, Bitcoin has had quite an interesting move today. We've seen the price rise from $4,105. It's up about $1,812 in value. And it looks as though we could be really seeing the next bullish push here. Now, the only danger again is if we get that body close, which we haven't had. And I'm going to give this to you. I gave this to my students. I'll give this to you guys too. I give you something for you guys to chew on. So on the hourly time frame here with Bitcoin, we have a liquidity void that has formed from this massive movement here, both the body here and then the wick on the next phase of price. So this combination together, we have a supply zone on the H1 here, which could be used as a really good area as a break and a flip. So if the price was to body of the candle was to close above here and return, we could get a very good scalp from this point to here. Now, the calculation is that this risk to reward is about 1 to 28 risk to reward, something of that sort, which would be a really great trade to capture on your pursuit for this long. And if you want to grab this, this is what I'm looking at the moment. And nice and easy and simple trade that you can grab at your own leisure. So I'm keeping my eyes peeled on this. The target would be back to fill the void of liquidity here until at least 50,900. All right, that will be our trade. And I threw that out there for you guys. If you want to grab that, you can grab that trade by all means. And that would be a really cool trade that you can get on to for your own personal benefit. All right. So I want to throw that out there because as a trade, I think that would be a very great possibility to happen. The market structure looks good. Of course, we'll still need to see how the price behaves above this high here, because there is a possibility that the price could push short. But for now, things are looking quite good. So on that note, all right, I'm going to quickly have a look at the majors today. I don't think the market is ready for the major moves, but we can start to prep ourselves. So let's have a look at Ethereum, see what price is doing on there. Let's go to Ethereum. All right, so Ethereum has had a very interesting descent, which I told you was going to happen, is just how the market was going to do it. Now, the last time we talked about Ethereum in great detail was when the price got to this range of accumulation here. So we had this range of accumulation here, which was the market building orders, and the price resultantly gave us a strong short. So we did get the $3,000, close to $3,000 level here. And now the price has been making its way up for recovery. If I go to the daily structure here, what the price has done, which is intriguing to me, is one of the biggest things it's done anyway, is this thing here. This supply zone that we've had, similar to what I was warning with Bitcoin, we've had that with Ethereum, which means that the price is in danger of potentially pushing lower. So this supply zone here was responsible for a very strong short that we saw all the way to July 20th of this year. When the price broke above this area, it broke back to the other side, spiked beneath, but on this day, we had a body close inside. So we're still in the right phase or the right market posture and position to go for a long. But what we've seen over the days now is we had the first kind of bullish push that wasn't supported very well, and we had a break beneath. And now this supply zone has become a supply zone resting beneath here. So in fact, with Ethereum, there is a chance for the price to spike into this area here and then start to push short. Now, I'm not saying Ethereum is not going to do well. It can really do well. It has the, most of the projects are built on Ethereum that we know of right now, NFTs and DeFi, which are the, biggest spaces within this region of, or the phase that we're in when it comes to crypto right now. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw just the zone, the major zone I'm looking at here. So bam, is this demand zone right here. If we get a break beneath this area, as I've always said, then I'll be looking for a short. And I do think Ethereum has room to go for a short anyway, but I'll be watching here for a short to just see what happens, particularly with the price as it makes its way down here. I do believe Ethereum is going to push short. Now, supporting that, at this current time, I'll show you guys the news if I can find it, or I'll leave the link in the description below. But at the moment, Avalanche and Phantom have really been digging into Ethereum's network contribution or its network activity, because, for example, Avalanche, which is 5 times cheaper, approximately, than Ethereum, has also been seen a move of developers into the project, as some of the incentives on Phantom and Avalanche have grown. So this might affect Ethereum's upward movement a little bit. And because they are cheaper projects, I wouldn't be surprised if institutional investment goes there too. Who knows what might happen? They might diversify, cause the price to go a bit short for a little while, or a bit further short. But at the moment, anyway, this is what I'm looking at on the H4. If you want a safety point as to where the price may start to break long, to take some of this liquidity void, will be around about this region here. So this H4 supply zone just beneath 3,500 to around about 3,545 would be where I'm looking for. And if that happens, then I look for the price to at least get to a healthy 37 on the upside. And this is if Ethereum can break past this area. At the moment, it is showing signs of bullish movement, but we're going to have to see. It's going to be an interesting one to see what the price does. I would say no sudden movements yet. Rather just let the price be the price and do what it needs to do. And then we can make our way from there for more observations in the future. But Ethereum, and on that side note, talking about Avalanche and Phantom, it's going to be increasingly interesting to see what happens over the next period of time. So I'm going to go here. I'll show you the news for this. So The world of DeFi is ruled by Ethereum. And this is important because, as I said, most projects are built on Ethereum. The first projects of anything known as DeFi was built on Ethereum, okay? So the rule of not first, the rule of the first comes into play here, that if you're the first person to do something, you will really do well, most likely, because you are the first. All right, so the same rule in business and any other thing that you do, all right, until a competitor comes along. All right, so with the emergence of, and this is the key here, I'm skipping the first line, with the emergence of layer 1 and layer 2 scaling solutions, the question they're asking here is, could some blockchains overthrow Ethereum from its leading position? Now, both Phantom and Avalanche recently launched incentive programs for rewarding developers who build on the network. Okay, so this incentive for rewarding developers who build on the network is very interesting. Now, in order to do that, then they're going to have to stake tokens. So this involves staking. So in order for you to earn, you're going to have to stake some tokens as a developer, which you will earn, rewards on. So this initiative, okay, the TLV, which we call it, or total value locked on both chains, has risen significantly. Now, while at the same time, and here's the guys, this is important, Ethereum's TLV has dropped by almost 30 billion, which is massive. All right. And there's a good chance that Phantom and Avalanche have been pulling in users and liquidity since both the chains have the Ethereum virtual machine compatibility, which is important. So, from what they're saying here now, the EVM allows you to be able to basically use a compiler to code and develop for dApps and different projects and to develop on the blockchain. Now, because both of them have the EVM, okay, other projects that have that, things like Elrond, they also have the EVM as well, which allows you to be able to, as a developer, easily switch from coding on Ethereum or building on Ethereum to building on Phantom, Avalanche, Elrond, and things of that nature, or eGold. All right, now, if that's the case and there's incentives and this 30 billion drop has happened, then there's quite a high possibility that some of that 30 billion has gone over into these projects. Okay. So right here, Phantom's TLV peaked to 1.3 billion. Okay. And you have to understand that during June and August, these were in the 400 millions, 200 and 300 millions. Okay. Now the active addresses on Phantom here, which is another important point, has peaked to 3.2K when its average used to be around 200. So we're seeing about 16 times more usage, which is very clear that there is a lot more money going into the Phantom project. And additionally, transaction volumes have reached 633 million, as daily transactions have touched 1.7 million here. So this increase in activity here is a very important point that we got to all keep in mind. And I'm saying this to say that if this is happening right now, money is leaving the Ethereum ecosystem, then the price will suffer for that. Okay, well, because what makes Ethereum, yes, it is, you could say the tokenomics and etc., but is the value in the system. For something to be more value, there has to be more value created, from productivity. And if the productivity drops in essence, which comes from primarily the developers, and then from once the projects are done and the apps are running, then people with money put their money into these projects, for the future, then Ethereum will suffer for it. Now, similarly, Avalanche launched an $180 million initiative program as well. This was done to provide liquidity and support for the likes of Aave and Curve, which are one of the biggest, in the DeFi space, especially Aave is massive and so is Curve, all right, for all of the DeFi banking solutions that are available, which had launched on the network initially. Now it also has SushiSwap and Paraswap, on the list. Now, this is important here. The TVL of Avalanche, and hence why the price has skyrocketed from July's lows. It was around about $9. If I go right here and I do the 3 months, all right, in July, right here, Avalanche dropped all the way down to around about $9.50 on average, and it's risen all the way up to $61. So we've seen about, and currently it's at $51. So we're looking at least, 5x on your money, which is crazy already. But anyway, coming back here, Avalanche's TVL has risen since then by 676%, up from 311 million all the way to 2.41 billion locked in, which is crazy. Now, its EVM, due to the capabilities of Avalanche, allows for faster transactions and is 5 times cheaper to transfer assets on ETH assets to AVX or AVAX, I should say, or Avalanche. Now, because it's cheaper, this is a very, very powerful incentive to move your money over to Avalanche for DeFi activities onto projects that are built on Avalanche. Okay, and it has transaction speeds of up to 10,000 per second, which is crazy. All right, now in this similar period here, FTM rose by 163% during that period of, suspected transfer over from Ethereum, and Avalanche has done the same at 164% and 70% in the last 4 days of when this was written. Now, FTM has a 56% world domination, which it seems a lot risky as an asset because it's susceptible to dumping, which is very true. It's got over 50% of the owners being whales, which is not really my cup of tea. Okay. But both coins have risen highly in their volatility, so it puts them in the path to corrections in the future. But anyway, if they are going to have corrections, but I would note that for me, I prefer Avalanche a lot more than just from an economic incentive point of view than Phantom, but they both are going to do well if this continues. Not discontinues, this continues. Excuse my English accent. So investors, as they say, make sure you do your research or DYOR before making any investment decisions. But I would say Avalanche for me is top of my list. I think it's an amazing project and it has a lot more, to me, quite spacious economics in terms of the fact that there's room for everyone to earn and grow in the ecosystem. So I'll keep my eyes on Avalanche if I were you. And the price is currently dropping. If you want a dollar cost average, I've laid this out already. You can take a screenshot of this, guys, and keep this for yourself as entries. Now, again, do your own research as the final resort and make sure you seek a financial advisor's help or financial advisor. I'm not a financial advisor, and this is just purely for me to share my point of view. But please make your final decisions with a qualified financial advisor. So on that note, I'm watching out to see how we're gonna move forward, and I think that Avalanche is primed and ready for possible movements all the way down to 24. But we'll see what happens. If the possible corrections do happen, then I definitely expect a 36. And if we have a very deep correction, even a 24. But we'll see what happens. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Very straightforward and straight to the point. I'm not going through every crypto. If you guys have some cryptos you want me to look at, you can let me know. If not, I'll be with you guys very, very soon. So take care, guys, and I'll catch you